at that time, this was 91, and I was finishing law school, and I was living in a poor neighborhood in Chile because I wanted to serve the community there. And I have this strong sense of the importance of community and in Chile this need of social and different class dialogue, interaction, and being immersed. So the idea of having an immersion with other people from different cultures and different countries on a time that was not very common. On the early 90s, you don't meet people from different parts of the world. Now it seems, or for people living in the US, that seems very normal. Chile is kind of an island. And so that was very attractive. And actually, at first, I didn't enroll on the MA, but just the Peace House experience. And there I was encouraged to do the MA too. And okay. And so it ended up being a great experience in terms of friendship, in terms of challenging who you are, how your identity matters, and also to be exposed to the world and having a sense of okay, I can go back to Chile, I can work there, and that's my thing, but it's broader than that too. Yeah, I had no idea. But my strong commitment with my country was that I'm not staying here. I'm going back to my country, and I work on the issues of social justice or human rights. So I got a job at a legal aid program, and it was interesting because it was not legal aid on criminal issues, but on civil and family and labor law issues. So this was mostly women trying to have access to justice on family, on abuse, and with a strong emphasis on mediation. And one of the things that I used a lot was my few experiences of conflict resolution here, to try to encourage ways of addressing conflict and solving conflict by the people themselves. And I worked there for at first in a van that has an office inside, and we were like a mobile clinic, and then I became the national director of the program, and that was at the Ministry of Justice. So the other thing that I was able to do is to pull from the field experiences of our lawyers and social workers ideas for policy and law change. And I was able at least to achieve one law that was passed to just simplify inheritance problems for poor people, like looking at the law from the eyes of the poor. And but then there was a Truth Commission that was created in Chile. This was the second Truth Commission, the Commission on Political prisoners and torture and victims of torture. And so I applied to that. I wanted to change more into my human rights background in terms of past abuses, and so I learned a lot there. I work on, and that's how I began working on transition justice issues in Chile, and the experience of meeting victims, of interviewing, and trying to also again draw from the experiences policies. So what could be a reparation policy that the government could implement? How to define that is implementable, that can reach the poor, those who have no evidence, no lawyers. And so it's part of the same lessons from the Access to Justice program, but applied to human rights and reparations when you have massive numbers of victims. And then I work for the government implementing those measures and also looking at issues of disappearance and stuff. And then there was this position open at the International Center for Transition Justice in New York, and I applied to see if my CV was any worth, And to my surprise, they liked it, and I got this position. And now I do these same things of transition justice and access of poor people to preparations or forms of truth seeking or acknowledgement and agency in places like Cote d'Ivoire, Kenya, Mexico, Venezuela, Timor-Leste, and that's that's fascinating. But it's at the end of the day, it's the same experience of listening and trying to find out what could serve this person and how this person could be more of an agent in a process in societies that tend to exclude them. So victims, especially poor victims, especially women, are not listened, and that's not only in Chile, it's everywhere. And if you have suffered human rights violations, nobody wants to address that. And maybe all our focus, because of criminal justice focus, is about the prominent victims, those who have access to a lawyer. So how to combine that, in some way, that social exclusion or social justice aspect of what I have been doing with this transitional justice aspect. I would say it's looking at different disciplines from the perspective of how they could encourage or foster sustainable peace. So it's not like I don't look at it as a one discipline. I'm in law or I'm in transitional justice, but I benefit so much from the conflict resolution approach and for the intercultural thing and the need of dialogue and the need of being aware of what's your identity. So which hat you carry when you enter a room. So who are you is the way you are perceived. And the importance of listening and to be humble and to not run into judgment. So those are things. So what peace studies, I think, is that encouragement of looking at this at the different issues. If you're working on faith-based peace, or if you're working on international mediation, or you're working in economic development, you have that ability to look at how this impact peace in the long term and cross culturally. It's an integration that doesn't come so intentional for me. It's more like something that you acquire by listening, and so the experience of studying peace is that encouragement of looking at things from different perspectives.